I'm Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Behind the Star.
Thanks, Sheriff Bradshaw. We begin with the work to protect our residents from scams. Sheriff Bradshaw has organized a group called VAST. The acronym VAST stands for Volunteers Against Scams Team. This group of dedicated volunteers was set up to help educate the public and to protect them from scams.
People ask me, how can somebody get my credit report? Well, it's kind of easy, especially now in the day and age of social media where we put everything out there.
The purpose of the presentations are to educate the citizens of Palm Beach County about the dangers of being scammed and the possibility and potential of it happening to them, to make sure that people are aware of the scams that we're seeing in the area.
Our mission is to educate people. We find that the more people know, knowledge is power, the less likely they are to respond emotionally, without thinking, and irrationally to scams.
And credit card numbers, that's a number that's specifically assigned to you. Biometric data, how many of us open up our phones with facial recognition or a thumbprint? Somebody taking that information is also considered a form of identity theft, and it's something we have to protect.
The examples that were given helped me raise my awareness as to areas I never even thought about, from romance to I'm aware of the grandparent calling, but some of the things I had never heard of. So yes, absolutely.
If you have access to online banking, I would encourage you to check frequently to see your bank activity, because the check washing issue is huge in Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach County is one of the targets across the country because of our demographics. We have many, many retirees here.
A lot of us use the same passwords for everything. Be careful about doing that, because once they get your password for something, they'll use it for something else. They could use it for your banking.
It doesn't seem to matter the season. If it's tax season, then we see a lot of the IRS scams. COVID, we got hit exceptionally hard because so many people were home. So it was a prime opportunity for scammers to use the phone as a great money-making tool for them and a terrible victimization tool for the residents of our county.
We have people who are lonely, are recently widowed, and lost loved ones. All these factors make them extremely vulnerable to a scammer who is a psychological professional.
So again, it gets back to this inherent trust, where if I call an older person and I tell them something, we want to believe them. So we wouldn't want to dare think that somebody would tell us a lie or tell us something so awful, like our grandchild had been arrested or hurt in an accident, and then in order to make things better, they need money.
The purpose of what we're doing here is to get you to understand that you can take proactive steps, like what we're showing, to stop this from happening.
I know for everybody here, we have all learned something. This was a wonderful presentation. I'm so pleased that everybody came to help us to understand that scams are a disease to our society.
These presentations are a great tool that we can use to educate our citizens, to help make them aware of the scams that are out there so that they don't fall victim to the scams, the common scams, the telephone scams, the email scams, the texting scams. And we hope that even if one person pays attention so that they don't click on that link or answer that phone call or follow the instructions on the person on the end of the phone, then we've succeeded.
Sheriff Bradshaw also recognized some very dedicated and talented employees on the second annual National Crime and Intelligence Analyst Appreciation Day. PBSO has a team of 39 criminal intelligence analysts who have helped to clear cases from retail thefts to homicides. We're lucky to have them. PBSO looks to the community for help to fight mass violence. To prevent tragic incidents, PBSO asks residents to be on the lookout for certain behaviors in people, which could include a dramatic change in appearance, abrupt and unexplained end to use of alcohol, drugs, and/or medications, exploring ways to enter restricted areas, and stockpiling of weapons and ammunition. And we want to thank everyone who ran with us and our fantastic community partners at the Aware and Care 5K, aimed to promote awareness of mass violence and how we can prevent these incidents by staying vigilant. Remember, if you see something, say something. On average, there are 130 suicides a day in the U.S. For those with loved ones struggling with suicidal thoughts, let them know they're not alone. In 2020, close to 46,000 Americans died by suicide. Let's check in on our loved ones and people going through rough times. If you or someone you know is in need of help, dial or text 988. And for emergencies, dial 911. PBSO also marked Suicide Prevention Month. Here are 10 warning signs to look out for: feeling like a burden, being isolated, increased anxiety, feeling trapped, increased substance abuse, increased anger, extreme mood swings, expressing hopelessness, sleeping too little or too much, and talking about wanting to die. In honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month, PBSO wants to honor some members of our team. We highlight Deputy Roy Gonzalez, who's Puerto Rican. He joined PBSO in 2006 and is currently assigned to the Therapy Dog Unit. We honor Deputy Rosquiti. He is a first-generation Cuban American who's fluent in Spanish and English. Deputy Rosquiti is very active in the community, especially when it comes to helping kids. And we want to highlight Deputy Morales, who was born and raised in Palm Beach County. He thanks his Hispanic culture for teaching him family and work ethic values, which are the ultimate American dream. Did you know that 22.6% of the people in Palm Beach County are Hispanic? PBSO celebrates diversity, and for those who know someone who can benefit from our social media posts in Spanish, let them know we have a Facebook account in Spanish. PBSO also marked National Policewoman Day. We want to acknowledge the massive contribution that women have made in our agency. We thank you for your hard work and service. We send our most sincere condolences to the Port Authority Police Department for the loss of Officer Anthony Varvero. This father of 4 children was killed in a car accident. We're keeping the Varvero family in our thoughts and prayers. It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of Janice Williams. Janice served honorably and with distinction at PBSO from 2001 to 2020. With great sadness, we announce the passing of retired Deputy Sheriff Chuck Bowers. He served honorably and with distinction at PBSO from December 1981 to September 2010. Chuck is survived by his wife Pam, a longtime employee with PBSO. And we remember Deputy Sheriff Angela Chavers, who died due to COVID complications 2 years ago. Deputy Chavers had served PBSO and the residents of Palm Beach County for 18 years.
I'm Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, and I'm pleased to announce that text to 911 is now available in Palm Beach County. Even though this technology is now available, it's important for you to still call when you can and text when you can't. And here's a few things you need to know about text to 911.
When should you text? Texting to 911 is an option for individuals that are deaf, hard of hearing, have a speech impairment, or in an emergency situation where a voice call is not possible. With texting to 911 now available, why is it still so important to call? When seconds matter, a conversation is the best and fastest way for a dispatcher to retrieve and deliver life-saving information. There is no replacement to the calm voice on the other end of a line in a true emergency. How does it work? Your phone must have a data plan that supports texting. Find the text icon on your phone. Tap New Message, type 911, no space or dash in the To field. Make sure to include the street address, city, and/or town. Include the type of emergency, police, fire, or medical. Currently, our system is not capable of receiving photos or videos, just plain text messages. Do not send a group text. And do not use acronyms, abbreviations, or emojis. 911 responders will reply to your text. If your text didn't go through, you'll receive a message letting you know.
Also, remember that calling or texting to 911 when it's not an emergency and it's on purpose could be a crime. It can distract attention away from people who truly need help. Don't text and drive ever. And lastly, please remember, call when you can, text when you can't.
For more information on Text to 911 in Palm Beach County, visit us at www.pbso.org/text to 911.
Welcome back. We continue to keep the residents of Southwest Florida in our thoughts and prayers after the devastation left behind due to Hurricane Ian. Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marceno took a tour of the county the morning after the hurricane. We here at PBSO are thinking of everyone impacted. We also pledge to do our part to clean up, rebuild, and help in any way we can. Sheriff Rick Bradshaw led our emergency field force as they strategized on how to help our brothers and sisters affected by Hurricane Ian. Sheriff Bradshaw declared, "Help is on the way." And the team from PBSO got right to work in Charlotte County, which is just north of Lee County. You can see the time-lapse video of our crew setting up our tent. And then the deputies went to work in Port Charlotte. One resident said, "You have no idea what a help and stress relief they provided to so many people." Joshua Solano and his wife donated $10,000 worth of food and toiletries. Some local truck drivers donated their trucks and service, and our PBSO explorers helped transport the supplies to the west coast of Florida to help residents in need. Our area was also hit with severe weather in the Kings Point neighborhood of western Delray Beach. A tornado is believed to have touched down, causing damage to homes. The roof was blown off of several top-floor apartments. In fact, more than 30 people had to be evacuated for their safety. The American Red Cross and the Emergency Operations Center helped with temporary housing. PBSO deputies worked with other agencies to assist in the cleanup and recovery efforts. This is why law enforcement asks residents to stay off the roads during bad weather. You just never know what you're going to have to deal with during a storm. And remember, hurricane season continues through November 30. We need to stay prepared and ready. That means making a plan with your family, building a disaster supply kit, and getting involved by helping out loved ones, especially the elderly, who might need help preparing. PBSO has always been there to help people hit by Florida storms. That includes back in 2018 when we sent the emergency field force to Bay County to help in relief efforts after Hurricane Michael.
We were deployed for Hurricane Michael up to the Panhandle. We are currently in just the outskirts of Panama City Beach at Rutherford High School soccer fields. We took a contingency of close to 62 total personnel, that includes law enforcement and both support elements, to come up here and assist with several different aspects of this recovery effort. Some of which include patrol operations both day and night, assisting Bay County Sheriff's Office with their calls for service that happen on a daily basis.
The Sheriff's Office Emergency Field Force, along with the support personnel that were brought here, came self-sustainable, self-contained with everything that we need without asking anybody else for assistance. Such as our radio services unit. We also came with our fleet management staff. And most importantly, we brought along a grill team to ensure that all the staff that's here working 24 hours a day is properly fed.
They've also have helped out the Forestry Service, for example, and others that have come by with no provisions.
They gave us food for 75 people.
Thank you, Palm Beach County.
They gave us hamburgers, hot dogs, potato salad, chips, The plates, the silverware, even brownies. They thought of every element.
To describe Mexico Beach and what has happened there is difficult to me. And my family is actually from the Panama City Beach and Mexico Beach area. And to drive through there now is just heartbreaking because they took the brunt of the storm up and along through that area where everything is devastated.
Houses were turned to rubble. Houses were actually lifted off the foundations and moved streets over.
This is the 4th time that Mexico Beach has been removed from the map, and they have come back each time. So that gives something to tell you that the people were pretty tough. Each day that you're here, the recovery is tenfold. They are very well organized in their response. It is incredible to watch. The response on the law enforcement side was pretty incredible to see. There were so many counties and outside agencies from across the country.
There are a lot of people here who are super grateful for, we've seen people from Tennessee, you guys, search and rescue that's came out. It's truly awesome. I know people really appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all doing everything y'all doing for us too. Take care, man. Y'all have a good one.
We also have an element of search and rescue where elements of our cadaver team made up of K9 Tucker and Lewis Ledbetter
Sheriff's Office!
go and do recovery efforts on bodies.
He's a trained human remains detection dog. So he's smelling for any part or parcel of the human body after it dies till the time it becomes a skeleton.
To assist him, we use our drone units to provide aerial cover and mapping of the situation to call for any structural obstacles that may be impeding the dog getting into the debris. The drones also are being used on night for nighttime operations to prevent looters.
We have a thermal infrared camera which we're able to see things at night. It gives a heat signature off, and we're able to locate people using that heat signature. So if we find somebody while we're flying, we'll tell Bay County, who is going to call it in to the locals. The locals will make contact with that person on the street and determine whether they've committed a crime or not.
We have partnered up with the Bay County Sheriff's Office to provide patrol operations.
They're still giving warnings on the curfew, though they had a 10:15 last night.
Be safe, be smart. We are our brother's keeper. Right.
So we team up together, put one Bay County deputy in a car along with one of our Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office deputies. And they work in tandem in order to respond to some of these more difficult addresses to find.
Palm Beach, yes ma'am. There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank
Not
y'all
a
so
problem.
much. All y'all doing. Palm Beach.
If you need anything, just give us a call, all
You
right?
guys have been awesome, man. I've been seeing you guys patrolling up and down, and I just appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Anything we can do for you, all right? Give us a call. Thank you, sir.
The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office Emergency Field Force Unit conducted many operations in this area. We were notified that there was some abandoned dogs in the Port St. Joe area.
Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Units working in Port St. Joe were able to rescue a couple puppies. So we went over to Port St. Joe and took possession of these 2 puppies. The little female here, her name is Hurricane, and her brother's name is Michael. They're covered in fleas right now. We're going to treat them, and they'll be going to Big Dog Ranch in Loxahatchee, and then they'll be available for adoption.
This is pretty severe here, and it's going to take quite a long time for normalized police operations to get back on track. You know, we all came together in this mission. We've accomplished our mission, and I couldn't be more proud of all the personnel that are here. Everybody's done an awesome job, and I think Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and our staff have made new friends here in Bay County.
Our sheriff has made a conscious choice to provide assistance. It's a mutual aid amongst the sheriffs that they help each other out in a time of need. We're all citizens of this state, and we're all our brother's keepers.
Recently, recently, we observed the anniversary of September 11th. We honor and remember the thousands of people we lost on that tragic day in 2001. We also showed our respect for the first responders who died heroically in the line of duty. This date changed our nation forever. Let us never forget. PBSO Deputy Al Lopez worked as an NYPD officer on September 11, 2001 at Ground Zero, trying to find survivors. Listen to his emotional story as he recounts the memories to the Kings Academy football team.
Before '84, I worked down in Wall Street, across the street from the towers. So I was always at the towers. What made me take the test? I don't know. What made me want to become a cop? Job security, insurance, something different. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I grew up in the streets. And I hit the streets in the Bronx. 1993, the towers got attacked. Truck went in there, blew up the garage. I was close, but I didn't get to share as much. Fast forward, 2001. I was home. My wife woke me up. Come look, something happened. And I get up, I had worked all night. I get up, and we responded, get down there. I lived an hour outside of New York City. All the roads were shut down except for law enforcement, first responders. What would take me an hour to get to work took me a half hour. There was nobody on the road, and I would flash my tin at all the checkpoints. I got to my place in the Bronx, suited up, and then the waiting game started again, because they didn't know where we were going to put us or what exactly we were going to do. And we were itching to go because we had to help somebody, how to help anybody. That's what cops do. That's what military does. We don't run the other way. We run straight towards everything. That's the only thing we know how to do. Well, we finally got our orders and I was able to get down there. And what I saw, and what I did for the next 9 months after that, some of my family doesn't even know. And it stays in my head forever.
In 1974, the skeletal remains of a teen were discovered on Singer Island in North Palm Beach. Almost immediately, she was known as the Singer Island Jane Doe. 50 years later, the remains were identified as missing teen Susan Poole, possibly linked to a Florida serial killer. Our social media team sat down with Detective Springer for an episode of the podcast entitled The Lead, The Murder of Susan Poole.
Okay, so they found the skeletal remains. What were the next steps?
Well, they found the skeletal remains. Of course, they take it to an anthropologist and they look at it to determine, any injuries to the bones and maybe the possible cause of death. They never come up with a cause of death on Susan.
Okay.
She could have possibly been missing anywhere from the latter part of 72 up until the time she was found in 74.
And now, some news and notes from around the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. We want to thank everyone who stopped by our recent Jeeps and Badges event. Residents had the chance to learn more about our community policing program, SWAT, EFF, Marine Unit, and Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. We handed out safety flyers, interacted with the community, and raffled off prizes. PBSO worked hard to help our school students get the supplies they needed, and we love getting notes of gratitude, including one that read, "Thank you very much for the supplies to assist our students have a successful school year. We are a Title I school with 76% of our students receiving free or reduced meals. The parents are very appreciative of your generosity." And the work continues at our schools. PBSO provided supplies at 2 schools, the Career Academy of the Palm Beaches, a special needs school, and the Renaissance Charter School. Both schools were very thankful. We also received a wonderful post about our crossing guards. The author of the note writes, We thank our courageous and selfless crossing guards for helping the children in Palm Beach County cross the streets safely. Just a reminder, if you know anyone who would be a great crossing guard, PBSO is hiring. And we observed International Overdose Awareness Day. This is a great chance to share with everyone some signs of overdose. They include small pinpoint pupils, losing consciousness, slow breathing, choking or gurgling sounds, and discolored skin, especially the lips. If you suspect someone is overdosing, please call 911. Last year, 23 children died in the United States after being left in a hot vehicle. Never leave a child or pet inside a car unattended, not even for a minute. If you see a child or pet unattended in a hot car, call 911. PBSO continues to be focused on enforcing DUI and traffic-related violations. We want to make sure our roads are safe. Did you know every 3 hours a person or vehicle is hit by a train in the U.S.? Together, we can stop track tragedies. Make sure to follow the law and stay alert and aware of your surroundings. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office Homeless Outreach Program continues to make a difference in the lives of so many. One of our deputies helped a homeless family of 8 living out of a van. He purchased the family breakfast, brought groceries, and helped to place them in a hotel until permanent housing could be found. And the homeless intervention team helped out Evanil. Deputy Sheriff Jim Mackey and Corporal Candy Maldonado began to mentor and guide Evanil, who was able to move into a place of his own after starting to work at a car wash. Evanil writes, "With the right people in your life who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself, anything is possible. Thank you, Mackey and Candy, for believing in me and helping make my dream come true." If you'd like to support the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office homeless outreach efforts, please email homelesshelp@pbso.org. The team in Deputy Sheriff Robinson helped out Stephen, who was homeless, dealing with physical disabilities, and had lost hope. The team reassured Stephen that they were there to help and provided him with food, clothes, and hygiene items. We love getting pictures from the community whenever they see one of our deputies or canines. In this case, our therapy dog unit was seen with their hard-working rescue pups in the village of Wellington. Recently, someone reported a dog stolen from a fenced patio. Detective Price was assigned to the case and worked hard to locate the dog. She reunited the dog with her owner by the end of the day. Thank you, Detective Price. You make us so proud. The town of Palm Beach Shores is pet-friendly. They even have a dedicated dog treat station. If you have a furry friend and you're in the area, make sure to stop by and check it out. PBSO turned Hunger Awareness Month into Hunger Action Month by partnering with Restoration Bridge International to collect food items in our different districts. We thank Lieutenant McLean and his wife, Sergeant McLean from Corrections, for donating 96 items and 3 cases of water. Together, we can end hunger in Palm Beach County. And we met some children at the Green Acres Community Center to surprise them with some much-needed clothes and shoes for school. The kids also received books from the community center. All of this was made possible thanks to the volunteers at the Giving Closet Project. Now, back to you, Sheriff Bradshaw.
Okay, that'll do it for this episode of Behind the Star. On behalf of the men and women of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, thank you for watching.